Okay, I have put these three together and I'm trying a different binding style. I've seen several videos with a wraparound binding style, so I decided to give it a try because I like these covers that I made a lot and I didn't want to poke holes in them, but I ended up poking holes in them anyway because the sewing machine went crazy on me. So this is just a flip through of these three books. So starting with this one, again, it's the wrap through binding. I cut off, and I went back and forth. You saw a different style on these. I decided not to put a closure on this one because it kind of doesn't need one. And I didn't want to cover up the patterns that are embossed on here. So I did tie this on here, just left the strings just as a bit of flair. So I go back and forth on cutting them off or keeping them, but I think for now I'll keep them because once I cut them off, I can't put them back. So again, embossed cover, washi tape along the edges, sewn on with or double sewn on with a specific pattern before my sewing machine went crazy on me. And since these are wrapped in, there's no end papers. It's just the inside cover. And I made the cover out of 3 layers of file folders treated to look like leather and glued together and then sewn together and then just decorated with that. There are 10 signatures with 12 pages, 12 sheets each. So that's 24 pages per signature. So I was trying to get it to at least 100 pages, and I think I successfully did that. There are heavier cardstock weight paper at the end of each signature, and each signature contains some regular weight paper, yellow paper, and hanshi paper. This is very, very light hanshi paper, which is why I decided to include a writing board so that when you write on this paper, the ink does not soak through, because I think it would soak through just any time, anything with any type of writing instrument except pencil or colored pencil, it will soak through because this paper is very, very thin. It's designed to practice brush calligraphy, so it's very, very thin, but it's also, pretty strong until it gets wet. It's not strong when it's wet. So each signature contains that and craft paper. Craft paper that I cut to size for use to bind in here. So there is no embellishment on any of the pages. They are all just pages. This journal is exclusively for art or writing. This is what it looks like. There's 3 loops of thread holding each one in place, but it is still possible. I bound them really tightly because I did not intend to design this for the pages to be removable or swappable. But if you really, really wanted to, you could probably slide them out. But if you wanted to just keep the cover and rebind paper into it after it's used up, then you could just cut these and restring something else into it. You just have to cut it down. It's 7 by 6.5, I think, is the size on this. So I cut all the pages down to 7 by 6.5. So there's no, like I said, no embellishment, just the cover decorations and the thread looping through, holding each signature in place. And there are about 120 sheets of pages in here. I'm not 100% sure on that because I think some of them I put more than 12 to make sure the inside sheet was not one of the hanshi papers. So that is this one. And I'm actually considering keeping this one because I really, really like how it came out. This is what I made because I had a strip of leather-treated file folders. Where is my language? Leather-treated file folders that was really, really narrow. So this one is actually 2.5 by 8. I thought it was 7, so I cut the paper short, but it's actually 8. So I could have done longer pages in this one, but I'd have to have legal size, larger than legal size paper and just cut it into strips. Same thing. I did have a closure on this one, but I didn't want to cut it because it came out well. I just braided yarn, cotton yarn. But I don't know what I was thinking, but this is what happened when I braided the yarn. So they're not the same length. And I contemplated cutting it off and putting one the same length on there, but then I was like, well, it ties shut and it does what it needs to do. So I left it alone. I also have some of the hanshi paper in this one. So this is the writing board that I included with this one that you could use to to write over to keep things from bleeding through. And I intentionally used some of my old calligraphy practice pages, so there are lines on this. If somebody wanted to use the lines, you can still see them in spite of the practice calligraphy on here. And same with this one. I intentionally used old practice paper because it's got lines. So if you wanted to use the lines, you could use the lines. There are 10. There are 10 signatures in this one. And they also have between 12 and 14 pages per signature as well. Again, because I wanted to use up all the strips without making any more strips. And I didn't want to have an odd number of pages per signatures. So same arrangement, craft paper, Hanshi paper, regular weight paper, and the yellow paper that I rescued, and the cardstock paper marking the beginning and end of each signature. And again, I did not design them to be torn out. I had one strip of this left, so I just stuck it in here in the back. I did not design them to be torn out. I did not design them to be redone. If someone were to use this up and then want to put more in there, they would cut these, because you could with effort slide them out, but I would not recommend it because I put them in there really, really tight on purpose. And this one, instead of doing the waterfall type design, I just pulled them all into like a curtain design and just cut the fringes off and hid the fringes underneath so you couldn't see it. But again, I really liked how this cover came off. I don't know if I will keep or yield this one to someone else. Anybody who got it could, if they wanted to fix these. And I may change my mind and go ahead and cut this off and put one that's on a proper length. But again, it just is a closure, and it ties fine if you just use this. If you use the long thread to do all the long movements, it looks fine. It just looks weird how one is shorter or longer than the other. And I may actually just cut this one instead of making this one longer, but I've got options. Now, again, this one started, I started making this one and putting this one together after my sewing machine went a little bonkers on me. So I was not able to sew the washi tape down. So it is, fraying or whatnot and coming up. And I didn't think to glue it down because I didn't know my sewing machine was going to go berserk. So what I did instead was put these studs along the edges. So the washi tape is held in place by these studs, and I put the studs in there as hard as I could so they shouldn't pop out, even though you don't have the flare, the grommet flare on the back side, but they shouldn't pop out because I put them in there really good. So the washi tape is there, but it's only sewn on the ones that I did before my sewing machine went crazy. And I'm letting it rest, so eventually I may try again, but I think I'm going to just do decorative sewing instead of sewing that actually holds things in place. And so that is that one. Again, 2.5 by 8 is the cover, but the pages are 2.5 by 7, because I don't know, I thought it was the same length as this one, and I thought it was the same length as this one, but for some reason that one was a little bit longer. I think it's because I put 4 panels together. When I made it, it is just longer than I expected it to be. So if I ever did unbind that one, I would put it back together with 8-inch pages instead of 7-inch pages. And who knows, I could maybe even perforate them and make it tear out, but I don't think I want to do that. Okay, this one is also 4 by 7. 4 by 7. So this one is actually where I cut the paper and then had the offcuts to make this one. So I actually made this one, then this one, then this one. This one does not have an embossed cover, and I actually made the closure to tie around the edge, but I punched the holes too close to the end. So when you wrap it around the edges, it doesn't really hold it very well. So that's why I have it, because it just happens to be long enough to where you can do it this way instead. So this one I bound with a blue yarn and did just one curtain binding and then just cut off the fringes there. This is the same yarn with different shades of blue crocheted and run through holes in the back. And I contemplated putting 2 more holes and then just running something that would be around the middle, and then you could have this one as well around the end. But it just makes more sense to not punch more holes and just do it this way. And this one is decorated. This one is the same file folders treated with glycerin and water to make it look like leather, and covered with antique Mod Podge, I think, to give it a little bit of a gold tinge and a little bit of an antique tinge. And you can actually see where, this is the one I was working on when my sewing machine started to go crazy on me. So you can see all these holes. I tried to fill them with Mod Podge, but they still kind of stand out. But I guess it gives it a rustic look, so I'm not worried about it. This one is sewn in place, so I don't have any studs on this one, aside from the grommets for the closure. But again, it's washi tape around the edges, and then the file folder treated to look like leather. And this is the front because it's just different. I have a whole bunch of different colors of file folders, but just not very much of each individual one. So I kind of collaged this side together and then Mod Podged over that, and then sewed the edges to keep the washi tape in place. Whoops. And I put two different, I had these two different that are the right size, 4x7. This one's probably 4x6, and this one's 4x8. So it sticks out a little bit. I couldn't decide to keep both of them in there or just to put one of them in there. These are cards that I got from, that I just laminated, that I got from different charities or whatnot. So I put this one down. I just, this literally came, I just wrote Yeshua down here for the name of the person who sends the blessing and just laminated it and left it as is. And this one is a laminated bookmark of ways to praise your kids. I loved these, so I laminated them to keep them. And they both fit width-wise to be perfect as writing boards. This one I like because you have a writing board in here, and it can also function as a bookmark by when you stick it in the pages and where it's out, you know where you are. This one also fits perfectly, but it fits so perfectly in there, you don't even realize there's a writing board in there. It's very easy to get lost in the pages and miss it. So I kind of put both of them in here for now because I don't know whether I'll keep both of them in there. Maybe this one, because it works perfectly. The decorations fit on either side of it when you put it in here like a bookmark. So you could put this one in here like a bookmark and this one in like a writing board. But I haven't decided which way I want to go. And the same paper arrangement is in this one as in the others. There are only 8 signatures in this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 knots there. There are 8 signatures in this one, and each signature, I think, also has 12 pages. So you still have, I don't think any of them got to 14, but I think they're all 12. This one has more of this, where'd it go? This paper. And this is slightly lighter than regular paper. I think it's packing paper that I treated with waste ink to give it a little bit more color and a bit of a pattern. So you've got that and some of the other stuff. The same cardstock is used to mark each signature. You've got the craft paper, the yellow paper, more craft paper, and the hanshi paper is also in this one as well. So you definitely need something to put under these when you're writing on the hanshi paper, because it is very, as you can see, very, very thin. It's strong, but like I said, it's for brush calligraphy, so it's very, very thin. Probably so you can use practice, see the strokes underneath while you're practicing brush calligraphy in Chinese or Korean or Japanese or whatever. So this one, whatever, I'm not going to do the math in public, whatever 8 times 12 is, but I was trying to get at least 100 pages and 100 sheets in every one. Because I don't usually write on the backs of the pages because I use fountain pens and they usually bleed through. So I don't usually write on this one. So I was thinking that way when I was putting this together, even though I may not keep this one. But I like all 3 of these. I like the way the covers came out. So I think for the next bit of time, at least, I'm going to do more of these kinds of covers with and use up my yarn to wrap them in, because I really, really like how these covers are coming out. And I'm getting tired of sewing. So these are the latest 3. I have not put together the eBay page yet. I have not put together an Etsy page or anything. I may keep this one because I really, really like how it came out. And I may give these away. But all that's still up in the air. So just wanted to let people know what I was working on and for the time being.